Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a quick reading about what's good or what's coming in love. Um, we'll pull some cards to figure out what the situation is applying to, whether it's an existing or a new situation, but I'll try to read for both based on the cards that come out, and so it'll be kind of like a quick peek into that. I'll do it by elements astrologically. I would suggest, for me, the way that I read, that you listen either to all the messages or the multiple placements like Sun, uh, Rising, Venus, and Moon, or some other placement that you think is important. Just because of my messages seem to cast a wider net in terms of their astrological placement, and I'll timestamp it below. Okay, so let's get started. Hope everybody is well, and you can leave a comment below if there are certain types of things topics you're interested in some of the general readings being about. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, of everyone who will be joining us for this reading today, tomorrow, or anytime in the future. This will be a timeless reading. So we will start with, we'll go in order. So with Aries starting the calendar, we'll start with fire signs. So this is going to apply to fire signs. It'll apply to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sun, Rising, Venus, and or Moon, or any other placement that you want to follow. Okay, what's coming? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. For the fire signs. Some restless energy with the fire signs, or impatient. Okay, so well, those are kind of interesting and contradictory, or complementary perhaps. Okay, so something close to your heart, close to home, but also something that is expanding your horizons at the same time. So if you're already in a relationship currently in your life, that could be expanding to new horizons, either by actual travel or in terms of the things you guys are experiencing or discussing. This would also refer potentially to a long distance connection that is going to be achieving some new kind of balance where you guys will be able to be closer together, or the opposite, where you are going to have to become long distance for a little bit of time. In the best case, it's just that you're both getting to travel together. There's a chance that some of you will be relocating for love, or have considered it just to also find the love, like in terms of the passion, like the love of in life, not just the love of your life. Let's see. I'm going to read the spread in two ways. As those of you who are familiar with my readings, I don't exactly do reversals, but I will make note of them if and when I feel called to by my guides. Okay, so we kind of talked about the energy of like home and away, or seeing some new horizon or something like that. Also, there's just a small energy of like a cruise for some people. I'm sure that it's not just so cruises are not just for any one age group. I suppose it can be for multiple people. Oh, or some kind of rustic travel as well. So it could also be something camping or something like that. Okay, so let me just tune into these energies. Okay, so there's also some issue about the home or the stability of a relationship for some of you fire signs. So we wanted to focus on like the good things coming in, or what's coming in love. It seems that there is some more stability promised, either in a relationship or in the home space, and that's has either come, or it's going to come through kind of a deep inner reflection of issues and or feelings, and everyone taking time to really examine what's important to them, not just now, but in the future, and thinking about the long term. Oh, okay, thank you, Spirit. So this card here could also actually speak to time and trying to plan for the future, planning for a future that is consistent with where you want to be now and overcoming any issues in the past. Um, 1 second. There is some healing energy here. So if this if any one of you have been in a situation where there was some confusion or like drama or things like that, some of that is going to find a way to come to a better, like, it's going to get replenished and find a new type of peaceful balance. You're also going to be able to get what you want. So if you want a stable relationship, you just want a better home for you and your family, or something like that, you're going to have some type of wish potentially fulfilled, and you're going to get your due. So if you have felt like unseen, whether it's by your partner or by some other kind of, just in whatever way you've been unseen, you might be seen more. um, if you have a partner or you have someone in mind that you're thinking about, uh, this person if this person is one of you, so reverse the roles as need be, someone who has looked more inward than the other, or pulled back, or has been in a like place of not communicating as much, they understand that that's been affecting you as well, and might have affected your communication, and so it's kind of shifted the dynamic. But they do feel made whole by you. So their feelings might not really reflect how they're behaving right now. I'm going to have to pull a little bit on this one. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Okay, so so even though it wasn't really reflected in the overall energy that's being shown, um, in the short term, it's possible that there's going to be one or both of you are not going to feel fully satisfied by the way things are going, or not having the answers you need, or a little bit suspicious, or something like that. I'm wondering what the other person's motive is. This could have to go back to do with some poor communication, or as well as some issues in the past, which could have had to do with distance or time or a feeling of security and safety. And but let it be known that some of this stuff, which might feel like a little bit shady, is probably actually one or both of you, or the connection, the energy of the connection itself, kind of going inwards and trying to figure out what this all means. So it's actually an attempt to work towards going in a good direction, and there is an intent for it to again rebuild into something stable, or recreate into something stable. For those of you who might not have anyone in your life, and not um, if you're hoping for someone's return, if you're thinking about someone's return, it looks like that person is still trying to figure themselves out, but you are on their mind. Some of the stuff in the past is still on their mind also, but they are also focused on other things as well, truth be told. um, and for those who have like nobody, nothing, I mean, meaning not nobody, but like just doesn't have anything that's striking their fancy at the moment, um, um, because you're in that kind of space in between heart emotions. It's also about a time of like ironing out the final bits of healing, or like leftover emotions you might have for someone else, or also your expectations for what you want in the future, just really figuring yourself out. And that it might require you to travel, or to see things from a new perspective, read some books, something like that. Like somehow you're going to have some more awareness of things that's going to allow you to you might think, no, I know what I want, I got it all under control, I know what I like, what I don't like, but I think your spirit is a little bit asking you to reconsider that in light of things like what you actually like, what are your, like, maybe you want a certain kind of lifestyle, and really go back and think about what that is in terms of the person you're looking for. Because sometimes, like people say, making vision boards and being really specific can really manifest that person in faster. So that's a little bit about love for people who might be single. And I think Spirit's saying that once that's done, it'll be easier for Spirit to provide someone that brings you like that kind of stable, perfect relationship of what's perfect in your mind. It's possible also if you are single, you might meet someone abroad, or you might meet someone like that has a connection to both home and travel, like someone in your neighborhood who's come back from travels, or that you didn't know. Like, so I just got like a friend or a connection or a family member who knows someone, like there's some kind of introduction, but there will be something about other places, other lands, which connects to some part of this epiphany, whether you're with someone or you're not with someone, or you're waiting for someone to return. So that's what we have for you, fire signs. Again, try to watch the different placements to figure out what works. Because for different readers, sometimes you'll find certain placements resonate more with the readings. Like you might find your sun resonates with some people's readings, and when you watch a different reader, it's your Venus that really resonates. So it's a little pro tip. So now we're going to move on to earth signs. Okay, spirit guides, angels, ancestors. I'm going to watch the time here. Of earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, so there's a big gulp, a big sigh with the earth signs. Let's see what that's about. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors of earth signs that we'll be watching. What is good and coming in love? Okay. Oh, so that was interesting because I said big gulp or sigh. And so something is going to become clear. You're going to have some answers show up. You're going to feel free with this information. If there's been a weight in your chest or your sternum, and it's just like there's just something that sometimes you're fine when you're well, but you remember, or you think about a certain issue or a person or something, you feel like you've wasted time or you've lost something. There's going to you're going to feel less caged by that. Let's get some tarot here to open that up. Nice. Okay. I'm going to tune into the cards. Okay, so for those of you who are in a connection or potentially kind of hoping for like someone to re-enter your life, or have like someone on your mind that you feel like kind of things are not clear with, for an earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Just resetting myself on this side so this doesn't fall. Okay. There is a bit of an energy of some kind of love or emotion or feelings that are not as close as they used to be anymore. It's still kind of within your view and your landscape, but it's not as close, and it's not as warm as it used to feel. There is still attraction and a connection between you and your person, or the person that you're thinking about. I'll do the singles portion at the end, but it's like it's possible you or the other person reverse the roles, as you need to has something else that you need to look at or need to take care of. Again, which is kind of similar to the fire signs, and I often notice like Aries and Taurus have a connection. I'm not so sure about the other earth and fire combos, but anyway, this person might be aware that the current like dynamic has left you or both of you feeling a little bit in flux about like what this all means in the 3D, and they feel like you're kind of holding back as a result of that. They want to tell you things, but they kind of hold back on purpose. So I'm not sure what that's about. But ultimately there's alignment here, so which is probably what the clarity and the freedom comes from. Let's clarify a little bit. They like you. For those of you who don't know your person as well, if you're not in a full relationship, they do like you. They might not like themselves right now that much. I don't know what that means. I just heard that. They like you. But they sometimes feel like communication goes awry with you a little bit, like either what they want to say. It's one of these people who might be like, oh, you're too sensitive, and nobody's too sensitive. If anyone tells you that, that's unfair. You feel how you feel. But it could be that kind of thing, or they just might not, they might not dispute that you're sensitive, but they just don't know how to handle it. This might have to do with, let me just see. This might have to do that with the fact that they're just in a bit more of a go-getter energy right now, where they're like, they just don't have time for small talk or something like that. They don't want to really deal with certain like kind of things that have happened that are negative. Oh, is there a card? No. Okay. They are also potentially kind of feeling the loss of both the communication with you as well as some other thing. They're feeling a loss about something else in their life as well. And they're trying to make things make sense again. Oh, I didn't call out the signs for the fire one, did I? They're trying to make sense of things and make it okay. They don't like feeling unbalanced, so they like to feel balanced. And right now they're kind of going through a flux. So even though initially, like, I don't want to make this reading too much about them, but that's kind of coming through. Let's see. They also worry that you're kind of waiting for an answer, an expectation, something like that. This person has some trust issues. I don't know if this is long-term permanent or it's just kind of happening now in terms of something you said to them recently or something they said to you or some upcoming communication or something. But let me just focus on the outcomes here, or the immediate outcomes or direction, which has to do with having clarity. So it must mean that for those of you who have had some kind of ball of confusion or things not making sense, things are going to make sense and they're going to feel aligned, and you're going to have a clear and better choice of what to do to, wow, okay. I just, sometimes when I clarify, like the same card clarifies the other card, the same card from like different decks over and over, and it's just, it's a very strong sign from our spirit guides to tell us that the message is there. So there is something positive coming out of this, earth signs. I just want to ask, where can I ask this? Let's see. Yeah, okay, there's some kind of a new start coming. I'm going to assume that it's with this person on your mind or the person you're with or whatnot. But take it as you will. If this is for someone, if you're someone who's single and don't have any particular person on your mind, or aren't currently in a relationship, and you don't have to be, you can live your life wonderfully alone as well. But if that's the case and you are looking or interested in love, it seems that there is something or someone coming in. Well, obviously someone coming in, and maybe it's something, maybe you're gonna have like adopt a pet or something in the meantime, or some kind of a job that you like and things like that. So a few things are coming in, or signs. There seems to be some blessings coming in general, which will also extend to love. And you're gonna feel okay with that. Yeah, it's a new, oh, okay, thank you, Spirit. You're gonna feel like positive about that. The person could be a fire sign or they could be a water sign. I have like all the signs here, like energies, air and everything. But anyway, but hopefully you'll be able to feel what you're needing as opposed to always talking through it, if that makes sense. You'll be able to feel reassured or safe and not just told, like things are going to align, like, you know, actions and words will align. And that applies both to whether you're in a connection or whether you're single and you're looking for something. You're also going to, if you're single, you're also going to have some more new epiphanies about what you want moving forward. This was kind of, again, similar to the fire signs, but you're going to be able to know where you feel most at home in terms of the things you want to do. I feel that you earth signs have some other things that, and some dreams you want to pursue, and you would be happy to pursue them with someone or without, but you might want to reimagine what choices you're making regarding love in terms of those dreams that you're pursuing. So it's kind of just a quick, we're going to do these quick, so that's a quick thing for the earth signs. But it's like, it seems like actually pretty positive in terms, like, it's one of these things where there's a little bit more information trying to help give you answers about what happened or not, but then the universe is like coming in bam at the end going, but it's all going to be just like so amazing once it just happens. So I don't know if that means that it's going to come out of the blue, or if it's just, you know, like there's going to be this moment where you just take this deep breath and go, oh my god, this all makes sense right now. So it's something like that. It's not entirely clear how it will be delivered, but the universe often likes to surprise us in those ways. Okay, next we'll do earth signs. No, sorry, not earth signs, air signs. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors of air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What is good and what is coming in love? Oh, it's a lot here. For the air signs. Oh, okay, we got another one. Feels like more cards wanted to come out than there, so maybe the messages would be a little bit different for the different breakdowns. So we'll see if we can pick anything up in the cards. So there's healing. Oh wow, okay. So there's healing coming. And this is a different kind of healing than the earth signs. This is more of like an actual, like, kind of present or still palpable wound, which is going to like get some kind of closure, and you're going to feel better about it. You, and so if you're with someone, it could be you and your person are going to feel better about what's happening. If there's an incident that's been plaguing both of you, if it's someone on your mind or someone you've broken up with, things are going to feel better. Whether that, and enclosure doesn't have to mean at the end of the connection, but just closure to the situation. Let's get some tarot to clarify this, Spirit. Thank you. And I'll kind of interpret it in terms of singles at the end. Okay. So for air signs, let's see. So for those of you with someone or someone on your mind, it does seem that there's been some pain at some point, but there is an active desire by you or by both of you to want to, like, not like get stuck in what was lost, but find ways that it can grow, and what parts of this can still be salvaged and become something. The person, your partner, or the person you're thinking about, or reverse the roles as need be, has had some realizations about things that they want to say, or things that they've come to understand about what a healthy connection is for both of you together and as individuals, and what things need to be put to rest and put to bed, so to speak. They kind of have a new set of eyes. If, for those of you who might be looking for, actually, let me just clarify before I say that. It's about, okay, it's again that healing thing, is that it's possible certain words could be said to try to make something that wasn't fair and that caused discomfort. There's going to be an attempt to repair that with words, and if you don't get that message, just know that this person had been thinking about it or wants to say it. They might show you in other ways, but that's just something to keep in mind. They felt very, like, overpowered sometimes by your effect on their life, if that makes sense. And in some ways, for some reason, it's been hard for them to handle sometimes, which is why they want a period to come down from something. This could also be, again, the end of an argument, or an end of, like, kind of just a stop, not an end, a stop to, like, a cycle that was like damaging. Um, so for some people this could be about a breakup or something like that. So just to lay the cards on the table, haha. Okay, so yeah, so this could be about a breakup for some people and starting again new, or it was a reattempt at a connection again, or even revisiting feelings about a connection again. So it doesn't, even if it was just someone you never fully were able to be with, but you'd hope to, and then the energies went away, and then they came back, and then they went away again. And there's just something with communication here. Either they have trouble saying what they want, or it doesn't land, or vice versa. Um, but there is some kind of peace and calmness coming from whatever this realization was. And if this realization is simply that this person is not for you, or that this argument, you thought it was like a really big deal and it really shook your world, but there's going to be some way where your thoughts are going to calm down and you're going to be able to process this in terms of your emotions and just not the words itself. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on behind, oh wow, okay, behind the scenes, air signs as well. Um, this you guys have either, if you're still together and this is someone actively on your mind, you've just kind of both gone through a really big chapter and you've made it through, and so the worst of it's over. Also for wait, before I get to signals and singles, I'm going to say one more thing here. They feel, clarify that spirit. They see you've tried your best, or you try your best for whoever that makes sense for. Um, and that they might have not understood that you were putting in what you were doing, your actions and words, was an attempt to make the situation better, whether you're together or apart. But I think they kind of see that now a little bit, like it's dawning on them. It's not seeing that, they're feeling that a little bit. For what it's worth. And again, like for the like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make this situation more aligned. So in part, something that's ending or a chapter that's closing is happening to get you guys both back onto the same page, kind of thing. Let's just do one more. Yeah. So there's gonna be a need to like replan things from a like once some aspect of something ends. Again, whether it's an argument or an actual breakup or just realigning the relationship, there's going to be a need to sit down and chart your course out again. And maybe it's going to be happening from a place of how you both really feel, or how just one of you feel, as opposed to trying to be too intellectual about it. So one or both parties here feels like they sometimes can get in their head too much, and that's their more comfortable space. And so sometimes they want to go from their emotions, but then they might revert back to thinking. So it'll be whatever's best. What the cards are telling me is Spirit saying that things are going to, people are going to be get into their right energies to figure things out. Now, if you are, this is for single people, like if there has been in any, whether you are looking for love or not in terms of with another partner, it's again about some healing having been achieved, feeling again like you can take care of yourself through exercise, food, being in touch with nature, breathing well, sleeping well. Make sure perhaps you can even align yourself to the cycle of the moon. A lot of people feel energetically tied to the moon, not just women, it applies to men as well. So that's something. And just your circadian rhythm. Oh, thank you, Spirit. So that's coming through for some of you. That applies to everyone in the air signs. Like, pay attention to your circadian rhythm a little bit. There is a desire for more amongst single air signs. Don't dwell too much on time, like things that didn't work out, and the past where you might have felt like something happened was all for naught. Not because it, like, that's up to you to figure out what that meant to you, but it's just that focus on what it is you want to grow. Be honest with yourself. Again, I think that was a little similar to the earth signs. Maybe someone had like, be honest with yourself about what you like, what you want going forward. You're going to be more discerning based on your past disappointments potentially. You've actually learned things from them, so use them going forward. There will be an opportunity to use them. Oh, okay, thank you, Spirit. For some of you, might feel like, oh, there's never going to be a chance. It doesn't even matter what I learned from this. There will be, and keep that in mind. Something is coming in, but it might be a little bit. It might just throw you for a bit of a loop, and you'll be able to adjust appropriately. Like if something comes in too fast, you'll be able to calm it down, or if something like that. Like you have some tools now that you're more aware of how to get yourself into a calm state. Some cycle is ending, some phase is ending is the biggest thing with the air signs, in spite of what, like, regardless of whether you're single or with someone or on their mind. So there's some kind of new start coming, but before that new start comes for you, which was a bit different than the earth signs, it seems that there is a bit of a pause and need to recuperate and heal your thoughts and your and just your physical energy. For some of you, there might have even been like a small, like, like broken toe or some kind of like injury or something like that. Elbow. Anyway, okay, I don't do it. So, but the thing is that this time for taking a step back and relaxing is to your advantage. Okay. Final one is going to be water signs. Oops. Scratching the cards. So water signs are Cancerian, Scorpio, and Pisces. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors of water signs. Make sure to watch the placements you most strongly resonate with. Since I'm doing this by element, I would suggest you maybe watch like another element too, because that way you can figure out whether you're more resonating with your your sun, or your rising, or your Venus, or the moon, or whatever. It's different for you for different. It's usually different for the viewer in terms of the different reader. So like maybe you have a Pisces Venus, but you have a Taurus Sun. I would suggest you watch both and see if either resonate for you and where you feel the message is stronger. And let me know in the comments. Okay, Spirit guides, angels, ancestors for our water signs. What's coming good and what's in love. I'll kind of read it in terms of whether you're in a partnership, or it feels a little like chaotic, or whether you're single. Okay, so there are blessings coming. Make sure that you keep strong boundaries. Not sure what that's about. So I see the water signs here being compassionate, which is usually something you guys are all able to do. Your true nature is bringing you blessings. There could be an increase in compassion and like beautiful little rewards in your connection if you're with someone, or if you're trying to think about what someone you're thinking about feels about you. They have compassion for you. Let's get it. Thank you. Okay, I will read this in two ways. All right. Okay, so water signs. Where are my clarifiers? There we go. So there's some of you water signs are a little bit down and out. I don't know if it's you or the person on your mind or the person that you're with, in the sense that there was something that was really awesome and cool that was happening, or has happened, or is currently even actually happening, like where it just feels like everything's lining up in the right way for the right time. But for whatever reason, there's some feeling or need to like hold back, or there's a bit of a pause, or there's something else going on which required you to focus on sorting that something else out. In the meantime, one or both of you, reverse the roles as you need to, feels a little bit emotionally drained or emotionally overwhelmed. But it looks like you're both still trying to be there for each other, or you are still trying to be there for your person. Um, they are drawn to you. They feel you're drawn to them. There's kind of a energy of like, yeah, there's an energy of attraction here. There's an energy of wanting to do things for each other. But there is, and there's still this energy of moving forward and going forward. There is someone here who's a little bit more hurt than the other person for whatever reason. Actually, oh, I just heard that you both might be hurt for different reasons, but one is more visible, like more hurt by, and I don't know how, I don't know if it's hurt by this connection, something in their past, or um, there's somebody, okay, one person here, okay, thank you, Spirit, is dealing with something a little bit more than the other person. The other person is more dealing with their reaction to the other person's issue. Let's just figure out. Thank you. Someone kind of feels like something didn't, okay. Actually, wait, let's not read it that way for a second. Hold on. If you have someone specific on your mind, yeah, someone's kind of like not fully in their ego, but someone is trying to be compassionate to the other person who's kind of putting on a brave face. Now, if they're putting on a brave face for something real that you think is valid, or whether they're just kind of stuck in their ego for some reason, I'm not sure. But there's been some issue that they had to deal with, and they felt the only way to get out of it was like to come on out on top of it and not get stuck in the drama, was to like rise above it by being a little bit more stern. Um, this could have also affected how you were feeling emotionally in the connection, but it may or may not have had to do with you. It's not clear. It could have had to do with the connection, but it might not have as well. There is a desire, though, to communicate through that. So if someone has kind of held something back emotionally from you, or hasn't really been able to say what they need to say, there is a desire to do that. There's a desire to also like come forward and show you that they're not giving up, and that they are trying to try to show that with actions and with feelings. It's so interesting. There's so few little for the air signs. There was all this air sign energy in the cards, and here there's like almost none. Yeah. Anyway, and so. And yeah, so there's going to be a desire to make things make sense, be fair, be balanced. It might go a little slower than you want, or sometimes there might be a few trial and error where they try coming forward in one way, or you both try to repair something in one way, but it kind of, you realize it's not the right thing, and you guys go back and regroup. So there might be a little bit of redrawing, like looking out over how to address something. Okay. Okay, you both feel, though, lucky to have each other. There's like a lot of love underlying the situation, whether it's both of you towards each other in a reciprocal way, or if it's one towards another. For some of you, I do feel like it's one of you being really kind, maybe my viewer being really kind and compassionate towards the other person. I don't know if they're showing up for you in the same way, but they do see it and they're appreciative of it, whether or not they're really telling you that. And maybe they are. That's one thing. Yeah, okay. So they think that this connection with you, or this getting to know you, or like knowing that you like them, has been like kind of a nice new page in their life, has allowed them to focus on this instead of something else that they're still, sometimes they get stuck on. So it's been like kind of a breath of fresh air, or a new drink of water. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So there's some indications of a new start here, or that. So for those of you who are single, and don't have anyone particular in mind, or looking for love, there is some energy of a new start here, possibly with someone coming in who might be like will have a youthful energy compared to you, or maybe match your youthful energy. Um, Someone who has had some dealt with some things in the past, but is drawn to you because of your kind nature, which might be why at the beginning there was something about boundaries. So make sure, especially water signs, although I mean, of course, that's different between Cancerian and Pisces and Scorpio, of course, but like, just be careful of your boundaries, because I think once you all like buy in, though, it can really, that desire to be there for that person can really exist. So that could be there. And if someone new does come in, it might feel like it is really faded. And either you will feel the need, or they will kind of to maybe hold back, thinking, oh, this is a little bit like, this is just like the movie, it's just like the story. And so don't like get in your own way of what could unfold. Try to keep communication light if this is a new person at the beginning, and then like move a bit slowly. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this? It's also saying for some of you that, again, in terms of boundaries and whatnot, rethink how you think about what it is to be compassionate and care about somebody else, and that it doesn't just have to be with the person you like or the person on your mind, but it can also be with your friends and like your community. And that there's also something here for those of you who like to pray, or have some higher things that you're involved in, like in any kind of spiritual practice, that there's also worth in that, engaging in your spiritual practice for blessings, and that spiritual practice can also give you compassion when it needs to be, and that there's a difference between sacrifice and boundaries. So you can hold boundaries without feeling like you're sacrificing something, and the right person will always be respectful of your boundaries and is not going to walk away for that. And if someone doesn't stick around because you put your foot down, then that just wasn't meant for you. Okay, so that's kind of what I have in terms of good things, or what's coming in love, hopefully, by elements. So hopefully, if that resonated, let me know. And if there's any other types of messages you'd like, let me know as well. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you later. Bye.